Welcome back, everybody, to Chippa in the third person. It is Tuesday, and God, I'm not going to get the date right because it's been a 3-day weekend and I'm all messed up. Let's see. Friday was the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. It's the 28th, Tuesday, the 28th of May, 2019. That's how brilliant engineering mathematicians do math, apparently. Anyhow, yeah. So we had a great weekend. On Saturday, I put together a group outing, an event for the guys from the dad group, which happens after Daddy Boot Camp that I'm one of the teachers of, like I've talked about at Beverly Hospital. We went to Metro Bowl, which is an old candle pin, which, you know, for those of you not from the North Shore, basically, probably don't know what candlepin bowling is, but candlepin uses a small ball and really thin, tall pins, and the pins stay in the lane. You throw 3 balls each frame. You get 2 frames at a time, and that's how it goes. I bowled great. I used to be in a league when I was younger, but like the guy at the alley said, you know, they haven't made these machines since the 60s, so finding someone that can repair and keep them up is hard. They're disappearing left and right. But this one, I used to go to when I was a kid, so to be able to bring my kids there and get together with other dads is really cool. They put a great restaurant, a little like pub in there, really decent beer, really great food. They put an arcade in. It's really nice. So we had a blast. Later in the day, after that event, our friend Janine, who does sing, she sings. She's an opera singer. Has a beautiful voice. And she has a busking license to sing in downtown Salem, so right in the middle of the cobblestone paths on Essex Street, which is now just a walking street in downtown Salem, by the Pamplemousse, which is like a wine and cheese type store. She was over there singing. It was fantastic, and I recorded it for her, so she's going to have that up on her YouTube page soon. So all helping all the time. Then on Saturday, we went to the drive-in. Again, I talk about how great having a drive-in near us is. We went to the Menden Twin Drive-In, which is run by the Andelman brothers, who run the Phantom Gourmet. It's a lot of fun. And the 2 movies on were Aladdin and Dumbo, which is an, double feature of all Disney all the time, right? But we only stuck around for Aladdin. 1, hadn't heard Dumbo was very good, and 2, because it's so late in the summer, or so because it gets dark so late now. Dumbo wasn't scheduled to start till 11, and it's an hour away from the drive-in. But so we watched Aladdin, and so I don't think I need to say a spoiler alert for Aladdin. But if you're interested in seeing the new movie at all and don't want to know any of the things that are different or any surprises, check out now. But yeah, so Aladdin, my initial take. I was one of the people that was really, I'm not going to say was against Guy Ritchie doing this, but the track record just didn't tell me that he'd be able to really pull off a live action Disney animated movie. He kind of got too big for his britches, let's say. I love Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels and Snatch, and I think the first Sherlock Holmes is decent. I think the sequel is god-awful. And, it just didn't seem like the right fit for this material. So, couple that with I have reservations about anyone and why this role, I'm not sure. Like Heath Ledger can come in and do the Joker, and I was, one of the people saying, oh, this will probably be great. Robert Pattinson and Batman, this will probably be great. But that genie from Aladdin, for some reason, and I can see this rubs a lot of people the wrong way, is it's a very Robin Williams created thing. And so having anybody else step into that role, especially where the majority of the cast are all new people, relatively no name, or at least no name in American films. So to get these people of, Middle Eastern, Arabic descent, the right, culture to be playing in a movie like Aladdin. Who are they going to get to do the genie, right? It can't just be some white comedian like Robin Williams, right? And there's a lot of very, let's say, racially insensitive, to put it a good way, stuff in both his performance and songs and just in the general tone of the original Aladdin. So they had a lot of changes that were likely going to be made. And so the first trailers started coming out, and you know what? The movie moves really cool, and it has like a cool like Bollywood, not otherworldly, but other culture look to the filmmaking and the colors on screen, and it's a lot of sets and a lot of staged dance numbers, and I really liked the look. I gotta throw it out there, and it looked very toned down for Guy Ritchie. There wasn't a lot of like sped up, slowed down shots of dudes punching each other, basically, right? So it was interesting to see. And then back to the genie, they cast Will Smith. Now, if this had been the mid to late 90s, holy crap, this would have been a no-brainer, like a done deal. But, Will Smith's moved more into drama. Will Smith hasn't had as many big hits, but I've always liked Will Smith. Like, outside of After Earth, which was just a big mistake all around, I've always liked Will Smith. And so, okay, maybe this will work. And I gotta say, it really does. I think, again, this movie, like all of these Disney remakes, is at its best when it's not being a shot-for-shot remake of the original. Cinderella and Jungle Book, I think, succeed the most by just kind of adapting the material more than necessarily trying to be a remake of what Disney had already done. The most successful one from the other direction is Beauty and the Beast, which is just a shot-for-shot remake with a couple of the new songs added. But I really love the look, and I really love the cast, and I think it really works. But Jungle Book and Cinderella really succeed. And am I forgetting one? No, they've got Lion King coming out. They've got this one. Dumbo I haven't seen. They've got Lady and the Tramp, which I think is a mistake. But anyway, so back to Aladdin. So I'm happy to tell you that the movie succeeds. The movie, it goes through the motions. When it's not going through the motions is when it's interesting. Jasmine's whole new intention, it's no longer, I'm going to sit around and wait until I have to marry a guy to become Sultan, and doesn't that suck? Mid-90s, early 90s sort of progressivism. This is, why can't I just be Sultan? Like, why do I have to marry anybody? And it really works, and she's got some musical numbers. This girl, lady, woman, man, she's going to be huge. She has got one hell of a singing voice. The new songs they've given her are iconic. They really set this movie apart from the original. The guy playing Aladdin does a very good job of doing a live-action impression of the original Aladdin from the original movie. He's charming. He's in the background, but, it's really Will Smith's movie. And I have to say that outside of a couple of times where he's trying to do the Robin Williams shtick and it kind of falls flat, Will Smith is the center, the powerhouse of this film. He is 100% on his A game. His version of the genie, again, when he's big and blue and looking like the original Robin Williams, which isn't most of the time, is the least of it. When he's basically a person, in person form, doing his shtick from Hitch, trying to get Aladdin the girl, but kind of already being a few steps ahead of him and how it's going to play out. They give him a lot more, I'm not going to say backstory, they give him a lot more to do. And he's not just there to help Aladdin, he's got his own thing going on. The original having an opening with the guy kind of telling you his story, and you realize, okay, this is Robin Williams doing the voice, this is the genie, probably after he's been released. They have a much more emotional, like, better place for him to be, let's say, in that opening. His version of Arabian Nights is really cool. The opening song, the lyrics are very different. And like I said, he's just charming and on his A game. The cast, outside of Jafar, which is a very cool They go in a very cool direction for the character. He just kind of plays him when he's being villainous as like straight villain, but they kind of try to give him this backstory to maybe give you a little bit of empathy towards him, maybe. Or, you know, they're just trying to have him be a stand-in parallel for Trumpers and MAGA folk. I'm not quite as sure because they don't flesh it out as well as they could. Like I said, the movie's really held down when it's trying to go through the motions of the original. But overall, I really liked it. And, you know, I put this on Twitter, but I'm going to say I'm going to give it a B- for the new Aladdin. It's not the giant failure everyone thought it was going to be. I think that would go up to an A- or a B+ if the original Aladdin didn't exist. And you got to judge these things that way, right? There are some remakes that are better, but this one is always going to be in the shadow of the other one. It kind of acts as a supplement, or I'll say a compliment, but it's not a supplement, yeah, but it's like a compliment. It's like the director's cut extended version of the original, more so than its own real entity. But oh man, is everybody fantastic in it, especially Will Smith, and I highly recommend checking it out. This has been the Chippa, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.